Hey guys, it's Candace the Grandest, and today is all about healthy hair tips, how to get relaxed, healthy hair. This video was definitely highly requested, so I wanted to get this video out for you guys because I know how important it is. You know, health is beauty, and we all want beautiful hair, whether you want to go the natural route or if you want to go the relaxed route. Stick with me. I'm going to show you guys how I do it. You know, leave some comments and suggestions on, you know, maybe questions that you feel that I didn't address. I feel like I touched on just about every topic. We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts, my tips that have worked for me, things that did not work for me. We're going to address some myths, you know, ways that you can actually save money and accomplish the same goal at home. So make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe for more, and check out my other videos. I'm not going to overtalk it. Let's just jump right into it. Ladies, it is possible, okay? I don't stretch my hair that long. I don't use castor oil. I don't use hair vitamins or supplements. I don't grease my scalp. And I also don't use a bunch of egg and avocado proteins. And my hair is still long and thick. Shout out to my sisters with natural hair that's starting their hair journey, brave enough to do the big chop. My hat's off to you. Hair is a matter of personal preference. Obviously, the most important factor for me is convenience and it being healthy. As long as you look in the mirror and you're happy with what you see, that is all that matters. And for my girls that just started their relaxed hair journey, trust me, I was there sitting on the bed or on the couch just like you, watching videos like this, kind of a little bit discouraged because at the time my hair was thinning, it was shedding. Keep going, and I'm gonna share with you all my tips and tricks that helped me bring my hair back to life, get rid of the dead ends, have beautiful, healthy hair. You are gonna reach your hair goals. Make a hair vision board. You know, maybe you don't want long hair, but you just want healthy hair. You go through magazines, say your affirmations, speak it into existence. I want long, healthy hair. I want thick, healthy, relaxed hair. And trust me, by using wisdom and using faith, you're gonna achieve those goals. I promise. So let me start off by talking about my personal hair journey. I started relaxing my hair when I was 13 years of age. Every other weekend, it would be me, my mom, my cousins. We would literally be in the hair salon for maybe 8 to 9 hours at a time to get our hair done. And at the same time at home, I was not doing the most healthiest practices. I was still gluing tracks in my hair. I was sewing tracks in my hair myself, putting color in it. Remember, I used to love like this high ponytail hairstyle that required a lot of pins to hold it in place, and my hair broke out in the middle. So then that led me to end up cutting it all the way off, shaving off the back of my hair, and having to start that growth process all over again. Then when my hair finally grew back, I got addicted to the weaves again. I went through this whole process of always feeling the need to have long, silky hair and never embracing my own natural hair. And then my aunt and my grandmother, they sat me down, they threw out my weave. They threw out the bag of weave that I had. I remember being so devastated. But nonetheless, I started going to hair salons that were into hair care and health more than the beauty and the styling. I struggled with getting it past my shoulders. I learned what worked for my hair and what didn't. This is what you want: healthy hair, healthy ends. Remember, your hair grows from the root, not from the end. However, if you have things like this, split ends, what happens is it tears up the shaft, and even though your hair is growing from the root, those split ends, if you do not get rid of them or trim them, they're going to continue to grow up the shaft, and that's why you're not retaining any growth or length. You know, some people have a routine of, oh, I only trim it twice a year, or I trim it every time I get a relaxer. It's examine the ends of your hair, and you can determine yourself If it looks like this on the end, you want to get rid of those stringy ends. Another thing that I do is, as I'm doing my hair, any part that is see-through normally needs to be trimmed. So by trimming, and you want to get a good pair of trimming scissors, not just any old scissors, and cut that off to prevent additional breakage. And don't worry, the hair is going to grow back. It's better you get rid of this so that way you can get this. Guys, let's talk about the difference between hair shedding and breakage. Especially during the winter months where the climate lacks more humidity and moisture for your hair, you're gonna tend to see a lot more shedding. And don't worry, don't freak out, that is normal, okay? If you examine your hair, the bits and pieces that shed and fall on the ground, if they have the little bulb at the top, that's healthy, that's normal. Think of like the trees during the fall time. They shed their leaves so that way they can grow back again. And your hair does that too. Now, if your hair is shedding and it's more like in small, tiny pieces, instead of like from the root of the hair, that is defined as hair breakage. That means that whatever manipulation, whatever heat, whatever technique you're using is not working, and you need to stop those bad habits immediately. Deep condition. Deep condition, deep condition, deep condition. Did I say deep condition? Deep condition. Know what's best for your hair. Know the balance of adding moisture and protein. I repeat this process every single week. Now that I'm home during quarantine, I do it once every 2 weeks because deep conditioning is one of the top secrets to maintaining thick and healthy hair. So I always recommend a light relaxer. I also recommend TEXLAXING. This is what TEXLAXING does to your hair. It doesn't make it super bone straight where the quality and strength of your hair is diminished, but it still gives you some straightening and some texture, meaning that your hair still has a lot more biotin and protein in it. Ladies, when you relax your hair, the relaxer should only be on the part that has the new growth, okay? The relaxed part, you should never touch that part with relaxer because you're gonna overprocess that part of the hair that's already straightened, you're gonna weaken it even more, and then that's what leads to breakage. Do not use super strength relaxer. I don't care what texture your hair is. Do not use super strength. Super strength relaxer has way too much lye and it's gonna break down the protein of your hair. I used to have a bad habit of twirling my hair and doing this especially at my corporate job. Don't do that because the more you play in your hair, if you have hangnails or your nails are not filed down or clipped, that snags your hair and causes breakage. So I learned not to play in my hair, not to manipulate it, not to overcomb it. And then also wearing silk or polyester shirts also helps because as your hair is brushing up against your earrings or your cotton t-shirt, that's causing friction, and friction also leads to damage and breakage. Now, there are going to be occasions where you might have to relax it yourself. For example, the pandemic, where the salons were shut down and we just had to on our own. Granted, I did do a great job for the most part. However, there were parts in the back and in the center of my head that were under-processed because I didn't have that view on where I was putting the relaxer, how much I was supposed to be putting on, and unless you have like a 360 mirror, sometimes even that's hard to do. So that's why I recommend going to a professional. They can see the back of your hair, they're not gonna over-process it. They know all about hair care and the proper techniques to do it the correct way. average it probably costs anywhere between $65 to $100 just for a relaxer, trim, and deep condition. I typically go once every 8 to 12 weeks. I notice that for my hair, when I stretch longer than 12 weeks, then I do tend to get a lot of breakage. Protective styling is great, but not all protective styling helps your hair, especially if you're doing a lot of manipulation where you're tugging on the roots, trying to braid it, doing sew-ins. Those rubber bands that you're putting on the buns is causing friction against your hair, and a lot of people don't realize that that causes a lot of breakage too. That's why sometimes I feel like I look like a cartoon character because I rarely switch my hair up. Another tip for retaining length, guys, is using a wide tooth comb. When I wash my hair and I want to detangle, the wide hair comb goes smoothly through my hair. It's not pulling and snagging my hair and causing additional breakage. You want to be gentle with your hair, starting from the ends and then combing all the way up through the root. A lot of you are using the wrong comb. You're using this comb every day, and that's what's leading to a lot of your breakage. I only use this comb when I'm wanting to put a part in my hair, or I'm sectioning my hair to blow dry it or to flat iron it. Rarely do I use this side. Notice as I'm going through my hair, it's putting a lot of stress and pressure on my hair because the teeth are not wide enough. So if I have like knots in my hair, it's gonna break those knots. Whereas, see, perfect example. Piece of my hair just broke off. Stimulating and massaging your scalp, that's what also promotes healthy hair growth from the roots, okay? It also helps in detangling your dry hair. Foods high in iron, biotin, and protein make your hair longer. I noticed like when I was drinking more water, my hair grew a lot faster, and in particular, Fiji water. And I wasn't sure why. I noticed that Fiji water has a lot of silica. Silica helps to promote hair growth. So I don't just drink any water, I tend to drink a lot of Fiji water for that reason. I tend to eat a lot of carrots, especially when I'm working from home. I just snack on these because it has a lot of vitamins and nutrients. Eggs, I eat a lot of eggs. I probably eat boiled or scrambled eggs maybe 2 to 3 or 4 times a week. Okay? Fish like salmon or kingfish. Omega-3 fatty acids also help to promote hair growth. Sweet potato, avocado. Although I rarely eat red meat, if you find that your body lacks iron, you may want to incorporate it in your diet and see if that works for you. So if you're wanting to give your hair a nice curly bounce, then I would recommend either satin rollers, you can sleep in those, or using the pin curl technique. Let me demonstrate for you guys how it's done. So I'm basically using my fingers, and then I'm gonna roll it, and then I'm gonna use the clip to hold it in place. And then I'm gonna continue to use my fingers, not a comb, to roll my hair, and use the clip to hold it in place. And then if I want, I can take a hair dryer to apply heat once I've completed this all over my head, and then once the clips are removed, I'm gonna get a nice healthy bounce. Okay? And I didn't need a flat iron to achieve this. After 10 minutes, you're gonna get like a nice curl. So you don't need heat to curl your hair, as I just demonstrated. Absolutely nothing wrong with using heat in your hair. I use heat in my hair every single month, believe it or not. So let me show you guys how to apply the heat though. Because if you're applying a lot of heat and you're doing all that on the ends of your hair, remember the ends of your hair are the most fragile. So you want to be more delicate with the pre-relaxed part of your hair. If you want to straighten your roots, try to get as close to the root as possible without burning your scalp. And then as you go to the end, just bump it slightly. Don't continue to do this. That is going to damage your hair. That is going to take out the moisture on the ends of your hair and lead to a lot of split ends and breakage. You don't want that. So what I do is I part my hair first, gently comb it. And remember, a lot of hair care has to do with applying patience. A lot of people don't have patience, and because they want to comb their hair rough, if they want to get through the process, they do a lot of damage to their hair, and it's not worth it, guys. Just have the patience. You're ultimately going to see the results that you want. So once I twist my hair, like we're pretending that my hair is wet, then I'll do a bantu knot. And then I'll use one of these clips to clip it out of the way. And then what I'll do is I'll repeat this step until I have 7 big parts in my hair. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 in the back, making 7. Then what I do is I take my time removing the clips. I use my fingers as much as possible to part my hair. I clip it out of the way, and then again, imagining that my hair is wet, I take a wide tooth comb, and then I take my time combing my hair and blow drying each section in those parts. Guys, another one of my tips is making sure that you wrap your hair. I never miss a night, well, let me not lie. There's sometimes when I'm super tired and I end up falling asleep and I forget to wrap my hair, and then I wake up in the morning and then I have like it looks like a bird's nest, okay? So I get into the habit of making sure that I wrap my hair every single night, even the night before I wash it, even the night before I'm supposed to get a relaxer, because it makes detangling a lot easier. Your hair is not rubbing against your cotton pillows or other things that may be causing friction and adding or increasing to breakage. Guys, it literally takes like less than 60 seconds. So before you go to bed or before you fall asleep, just invest that 1 minute wrap your hair. I promise it's gonna make it worth it in the end. And if you don't like wrapping your hair, or maybe you have company and you don't want to wrap your hair, at least use a satin pillowcase, okay? Ladies, I know that sometimes you want to switch things up, but do not put color in your hair, okay? Color consists of bleach. If anything, if you have grays that you want to cover up, then I would highly suggest using a rinse instead. A rinse is not damaging. It doesn't contain a lot of bleach like color does. And even with my hair being as thick and healthy as it is, anytime that I even want to do a highlight, those highlights I noticed would break and fall out. So avoid coloring your hair if you have a relaxer as much as possible.